Well, good evening, and welcome, and thank you so much for joining me tonight on In Review Thursday night, Thursday, the 17th of the 10th, 2024. I want to thank those who are joining me on Instagram, those joining me on TikTok, those joining me on Facebook. On Facebook, you can find the link, and especially those joining me on YouTube. Another weekend, another week, Thursday night in review. What's your news? What's the state of the world today? What's the state of the world today? There's so many breaking things which are happening. We just saw the latest breaking news, which is the killing of the Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar, chief architect of the 7th October 2023 attacks, country most wanted man. They're saying this is going to be the near to the end game of what is happening. You also seen whereby a Tory MP, not a Tory MP, but a conservative wife or so, was sentenced for I think 31 months or so for some things, and also one of the things I just touched on in regards to Jamaica as well. You wonder as to why the creature of Parliament, which is created by Parliament, in respect of integrity, you have the government, the prime minister, and their persons trying to fight against it, and you wonder what's going on there. Why are they fighting against something which was created by Parliament? And in a few weeks' time, we're supposed to be having the president of America. We're going to have the new president because the election is a couple of weeks from now, November, yeah. And then also you're going to have the conservative election, which is going on in the space now regarding Kemi Badenoch or Robert Jenrick. Yep. So therefore, there's lots of things always talking about and updating. So let's start. Yeah, I just want to invite Mr. Herbert Mushket. How are you doing, sir?
I'm all right.
Well, another Thursday night, and we're just coming together. We're hoping to get Gary to come on. Gary was in the States. I think the hurricane did not hold him there,
Yes,
Milton.
hurricane hunting.
Yeah, I think the hurricane blew him back as well. Listen, it's always trying to find what are the top breaking news, and always you'll always find it eventually. And in the Middle East, which is a very hot spot at present, very hot spot at present, we're seeing the talk about creating a level of peace, and you wonder how this peace will be attained with bombs and everything which is happening. But it seemed like according to them, it seemed like there been some sort of breakthrough whereby Israel troops in Gaza have killed Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar, a chief architect of the 7th of October 2023 attacks, country most wanted man. You know, is this the start of the end? What do you think?
No, it's not.
Mm,
They until, and I would say, I've been saying it until they can come to the table and talk.
mm,
It will not be settled by gunshots, rockets, and bullets.
yeah,
That's a childish way of settling differences. The
yeah,
adult way is coming to the table and talk.
yeah. Mm,
And this book that I'm reading, this book by Bob Woodward, it was
yeah,
just released on the weekend. It outlined the failures of the Israelis to come to the table. They've defied every approach made by the US for them to have a peaceful resolution.
I'm not read the book yet. But based on the essence of the book, are you trying to say the book is talking about coming to the table to talk?
Yeah, yeah,
That is one of the architect, the way of the
yes,
diplomatic way of
yes,
trying to deal with the
correct,
sort of falling out.
correct.
Mm.
And the de facto Israeli prime minister is refusing.
Benjamin Netanyahu.
Yeah, because he's trying to keep himself out of prison.
So therefore he needs to keep the momentum going.
Yeah,
So
to keep
therefore,
himself out of prison.
in order to keep that level of distraction,
Yeah,
because if there become a sort of level of peace or so, then the spotlight now goes back to
onto the investigating
the
of
whole
Benjamin
investigation.
Netanyahu. Yeah.
Mm, mm. But you know, one of the things that I realized about Benjamin, I was watching a couple documentary that every time, and I think it was since the killing of, who was it again? The assassination, was it Perez? I forget who was that Israel leader that they killed one night.
It was Dick Shack Rabin.
Rabin,
Yeah.
yes. And every time it always points back to Netanyahu. I mean to say it because to deal with this whole issue regarding the war, because wars keep breaking out. And therefore he's a person that always speak about you need to get them, got to deal with it.
I mean, he's as far right as right can be,
Yes.
right? And you cannot have a world that is being run by all people's people who believe that moving to the right is the way forward,
Uh,
right? Because what is happening now in Hez- Lebanon, in Beirut and Gaza is
mm,
nothing short of what is happening in Ukraine, right?
yeah.
And for all these conflicts to come to an end, these leaders have to realize that people have a right to exist. If you're going after people who have committed crimes against your people, go after them, but
Mm.
leave innocent babies, leave children in school so they can learn.
Yeah, I hear that, you know, and especially we're talking about like in the in Ukraine, because it's like Ukraine, Gaza, Gaza, Ukraine, Ukraine, Gaza, and and rightly as so what you said, there seem not to be a meeting of minds. There's Putin and there is Zelensky. Zelensky is speaking to everybody else, but not Putin. Putin is speaking to some other different people, but not Zelensky. In the
Because
issue regarding the Middle East now, Netanyahu not speaking to Hamas people
nobody,
anymore.
he's not
Nobody.
speaking to nobody.
And then you also have the United Nations guys them who are down there and them say, you know, but if they are not, they're still gonna lick shots same way.
No, but
Mean nothing.
the, their compound has been invaded by the IDF.
Mm,
They have been shot at by the IDF.
mm,
So how can you say you're looking for peace, but the people who are put in place to bring about peace, or the people who are put in place to ensure that human rights um, matters are adhered to,
yeah.
you're seeking about to killing them
Mm,
because they told the UN Secretary General, "Do not come into this region because we will kill you."
yeah.
right? So are you telling me that you're so powerful, yet you're depending on G7 nations to fund you while you're not listening to them?
Mm.
How does that work in a modern world?
Well, we don't seem to have the answer, but there's one person that may have the answer to all of this, and I mean, Hurricane Milton blowing back into the UK.
I mean,
So
the hurricane hunter.
maybe he has the answer. Let's ask him. Sir Gary.
No, Hurricane Milton didn't have any effect on me at all.
Well, you're above it.
I was above it, and it there's a degree of respect between a hurricane and me.
Just say, man of steel.
Well, I wouldn't say man of steel, but it didn't land until I left.
Yeah. Well, Gary, welcome back to the UK, and
Thank you.
The land of wood and water and opportunity, as they would say. The recent incident which has happened is the killing of the Hamas leader, uh, which happened of recently, and this seemed to be, as they say, a breaking point, whereby there's going to be some sort of breakthrough. They say Sinwar disappeared at the start of the war, triggered by the unprecedented Hamas attack in which about 1,200 people were killed, 251 others were taken hostage. You know, Yahweh Sinner is a commander, and he's a dead man, declared Israel Defense Forces spokesman Rear Admiral Daniel Hagar at the time. It was assumed that Sinwar spent much of the past year cornered below ground, hiding in tunnels somewhere beneath Gaza with his bodyguards, communicating with a very few people, for fears that his signal would be tracked and located. There were also fears that he would surround himself with Israelite hostages as human shields. What's your take on this? Is it the start of a breakthrough or the start of more wars, if anything? The start of peace or the start of more war?
Well, I mean, I think what is quite evident is the the leadership both of Hamas and of Hezbollah has been definitely being taken apart systematically by the IDF.
Mm,
From what I'm hearing, and I'm sure you've heard the same thing too, that with the elimination of Sinwar,
mm,
that was a surprise elimination because they didn't even have him on the radar as such. They
mm,
said they were going out for him. So that is a big fish to eliminate, really. Never mind all the others that they've been
yes.
able to eliminate. So something something has to give now. I mean, I just don't know what's going to happen. Something in my mind, something is going to have to really take place. If it's either Iran is going to do something that is going to be very
Mm,
significant, because the leadership both of Hamas and Hezbollah, has been eliminated more or less. Um, I was just listening to something on the news um, on Al Jazeera just before I came in,
mm, heard, but I know or I've heard that Israel, the government, is also targeting the leadership of Iran, and that Khamenei, the Ayatollah Khamenei, yeah.
he has moved to a safe area. So the I believe it's the foreign secretary that has been moving around amongst the Gulf states. I don't know how he must be feeling because they are all legitimate targets now, and the IDF is not, and the Mossad, and also the other arm of the secret services, they're not making fun really to eliminate whoever they can. So Iran must be really on high alert. And I
So
wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised, really, even though they have fired probably altogether 300, if not 400, um, ballistic missiles at Israel. I wouldn't be surprised if they are planning again to hit again as hard as they can, because Israel certainly has not responded as yet to the missiles that they have sent. Was it last week or the week before? They haven't
yeah.
responded, and Netanyahu has said that they're going to respond. So it's interesting to see what's happening on both sides of the divide.
Could it be that the response that the IDF is doing and Israel is more dealing with precision, you know, precision instead of actually going and firing off hundreds of rockets and hundreds of missiles. They're dealing with precision, taking out some of the big guys. Them, you heard, Bert?
No,
The axis
if they're
of
doing that,
the
if
axis
if
of
they're
evil.
doing that, no. If they're doing that, no. It is way too late,
Uh,
right? Because when they were bombing the schools and all hospitals and all that, they should have been going after their targets from day one because they knew who they were,
mm,
right? They knew October 7th was going to happen from a year earlier.
yeah,
They knew all the planners, but they did nothing to stop it.
yeah.
So it's for me it's shocking that 1 year later you still cannot achieve your target of going after your main perpetrators,
Mm,
right? I think precision bombing would have been the solution. Targeting your main source of crime producers
mm.
instead of regular day-to-day citizens. So if they're doing that now, it's good that they're doing it, but I think it's too late.
Mm. The whole aspect. I mean, they always say it's better late than never. Anyhow, still at the same time, but I think Kamala Harris came out and just say now let's look for tomorrow. Now let's look for tomorrow. Now they see it as it's the end game in the Middle East. They were talking about that Israel was sort of holding back in dealing with certain things because they wanted to have it done on in the event that Kamala Harris lose, then have it on Donald Trump's watch. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Israel is just going forth and just going forward. At one point, I was listening to a report the other day, and they're saying like Israel is now becoming like the uh, Goliath. The other places now becoming like David. Gary.
No, I think I understand what Herbert has said,
Mm,
but I don't know if I would necessarily really agree with Herbert on the side of precision. I think that Iran has been firing missiles as well as Hezbollah.
mm,
Israel is really taking its time, even with Iran. That is, Israel is taking its time with Iran when it comes to like Gaza or even Beirut.
uh,
Now, I mean, they've devastated Gaza. They've devastated Gaza. And I think that was their plan, because they want Hamas out. Come what may, I think the point is they want Hamas out, and they've I mean, what Hamas, in my estimation, I, from what I've understood that may be happening, and what they have more or less given or shown, even though it's in a small way, Hamas has been quite lethal, or wicked, I would say, really, to tell you the truth, because they've been using whatever means to move themselves around, whether it be by ambulance or whatever it is, and that is why Israel targets these areas. Now, yes, I'm sorry for the loss of life. Children, babies, women, men, innocent men at the same time have been killed. Yes, I understand that. And my heart goes out for the Palestinians. I mean, I wish it didn't have to happen. But in amongst these people, whether Hamas is the majority or the minority, I don't know. I don't have any data. I have nothing. But wherever these men have been with their guns or their rocket launchers or whatever, Israel vowed and has vowed to take them out. And because because they're amongst the men, it's like in our little England, in our little England, in our little London. You got some guys in gangs who gives the knives or the guns to their girlfriends, right? Or gives the guns to some other friends around. The police know who they are, but because they don't keep the guns on them or anywhere near them, they've got to go and search other areas, and probably friends or even girlfriends or girls' houses to find the guns that are used, or whatever, or the knives, or whatever implements is used to perpetrate crime. It's the same principle that Hamas has been using. They hide their weapons among the innocent, and when Israel then goes to take them out, where are they? They're amongst innocent people. Now that is, to me, that's the evil of these people again. Hamas, Hezbollah, they fire their rockets. Some get to Israel, some drop on their own people, and yet they don't report on that. So Hamas and Hezbollah, they're not doing precision. They're just firing their rockets to hit Israel. Probably Iran has a little bit of precision, but yet still they haven't really been successful. They haven't been successful. Again, Israel may be a little bit more precise on where they want to hit, because when they hit buildings and all of that, they're going directly for the leadership of these terrorists or terrorists themselves. And yes, again, I hold my hands up. Yes, innocent people are killed because they're in the same building that the terrorists are in. But to me, it's the same thing that's happening in Russia and Ukraine. We don't hear about these things. We're not hearing. We hear very little about what's happening in Ukraine, even though they're bombing. Even though Russia is bombing Ukraine every so often, you know, people are getting killed. Innocent people is getting killed, but we're not hearing about that. But the same principle again, Sil and Herbert. The same principle is that people, girls, boys, baby girls, baby boys, are being killed, and to me, that's a cost of war that we don't like to hear about it. We don't want it to happen, but it's happening.
Herbert, the book that you're talking about there, talking about the lack of direct engagement, the lack of people within these different factions coming together and having diplomatic discussions. That is something which is lacking.
It's not the lack of direct engagement, it's a refusal to have
Refusal.
direct engagement, right? Because it is saying that the current president has offered to meet
You're talking.
Netanyahu,
You're talking. Okay, the president of who?
U.S. Biden.
Biden. What? And go on. Keep talking. Yeah.
He has offered to meet Netanyahu to find a solution, and Netanyahu flatly refused, to the point where the president called him some very derogatory words.
Sorry. So you're saying that Biden approached
Yes,
Netanyahu to have some
yes,
discussion, and
yes.
is it the point where Biden made this sort of assertion that he wonder if they're playing games, trying to get it over into the new election, trying to hold it off until Trump, if anything, become president? Well, until after the
No,
election.
no, it's just a thing where I pay your rent, but you're telling me I cannot come. I cannot come to your gate because
Yeah.
you live in there, but I pay your rent,
Hmm.
right? And if that assessment is right, well, I'm going to stop paying your rent. And Biden has told him through his Secretary of State Blinken that he will withdraw funding.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, anyhow, it seemed that that's not going to affect Israel resolve. It's just like when they say the America resolve, Israel have their resolve, isn't it, Gary? Israel resolve that nothing is going to stop them in achieving getting rid of Hezbollah, getting rid of Haza, Hamas, totally.
Yeah, I mean, Benjamin Netanyahu has said that Hamas is not going to rule Gaza. So he's made his mind up where Gaza is concerned. Hamas is not going to have a place there. He's making sure of that. Now I don't know if that will ever happen again, but I think you have to see with Benjamin Netanyahu, loathe him or love him. You're gonna have to see with him, because Hamas started this and they certainly can't finish it.
Yes.
Yeah, but Israel was also a contributory factor.
Yeah, but Hamas started this. They
No,
went in.
Gary.
They
No,
went
Gary.
in. I have to disagree with you on this
No.
score.
Listen,
Very strong.
understand what I said. They were a contributory factor to this because they knew from a year before October 7th last year that it was going to be happening. Why did you not act upon your intelligence sources? Your intelligence told you.
Is that has that been said? Because I certainly haven't heard that.
Yes. The head of the intelligence sources the head of the intelligence has resigned because he said he has failed the Israeli people by not acting upon intelligence gathered.
Which they had prior to the
All right.
incident.
So all right, that is fine. But at the same time, Hamas went in. Hamas went in. We can't deny that. Hamas
No,
went
we're
in
not
on
denying
the
that.
7th. Hamas went in on the 7th and did what they did. People have to pay. It's like even if you're in your home with your family, okay, you may get the intelligence that I'm coming down there to rob your house and to destroy your family. You may get that, Herbert, and you may even go to the police or to whoever you think you could batten up your house, or go to the police and say, I've got the intelligence that Gary Graham is coming to my house. He's going to hurt me. He's going to hurt my family and my children. What are you going to do about it? They will probably say, well, we can't do nothing about it because it hasn't happened yet. And they may say to you, Herbert, all we can say to you is fortify your house, do whatever is necessary.
That's chalk and cheese. That's chalk and cheese.
Yeah, but once I go in, then you can act. But
Chalk
you're not going to. Yeah, but you're not going to just sit back. If I go in and attack your son, kill your daughter, maim your wife, or do whatever and destroy your home to that extent, you're going to tell me that you're just going to sit back then and just say, well, Gary did what he did and that's it? No.
Well, Gary,
I'm certain. Herbert.
That's chalk and cheese.
I'm certain, Herbert, that you're going to do something about it. Lawfully or unlawfully. You're going to try. You're going to think of doing something. And I think that the Prime Minister of Israel certainly is in his rights to do what he needs to do. Whether he had the intelligence or not, he needs to do something. And he's doing what I believe he needs to do.
I guess the whole issue of proportionality. Go on.
What are you trying to say, Gary?
Okay. I can understand that. He probably has gone overboard, but he has, in my mind and my eyes, he knows what he wants to do. He knows he's got an end game inside, and he knows what he needs to do.
There's a clear precision, a clear agenda, a clear plan.
Clear.
Herbert, you're saying
to keep himself out of prison. But what I'm saying, Gary, right? What I'm saying, right?
All right, maybe a political thing to it. I understand.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
If the head of the MI5 or MI6 call the Prime Minister and say there's an immediate threat, right? Are you expecting the Prime Minister to tell him, wait until it happens first before we take action? Or to eliminate the threat, neutralize the threat before it happens? Which one would you do?
Okay. I would prefer that they act. But let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Herbert. Based on the reaction now of the world,
yes,
or of certain nations where Israel is concerned, if Israel went in to Gaza and eliminated or even caught some of these guys, if they could have, and put them into prison, just based again on intelligence, what do you think the world would have then said? These very same people who are still saying that Israel shouldn't be doing this or shouldn't have done that. What do you think again would these people be saying? If they acted on the intelligence, what do you think that they would say?
I understand clearly what you're saying, but there's something called preemptive actions.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If they went in,
fortify your border. Fortify your border. Preventing them from coming across.
Yeah. They didn't know if, it is said, well, you know this, that their borders, there's no borders in any area of this world that is totally fortified and more.
What they said is that a lot of tunnels are underneath these places and so like that, which has been built for years, hundreds of years. But anyway, I want to move on from this, and we'll see how this unfolds over the months, over the years, and see if this is going to be an end game factor. Hear what Kamala Harris is saying. Hear what I haven't heard what Trump is actually saying as yet about this new development. I don't know if you guys have been following something. There's a little breaking news about this young guy named Liam Payne. People are...
Yeah, I saw it this morning.
Yeah. Did he fall off, or did somebody push him, or what?
I'm more leaning to suicide.
Yeah.
I'm leaning to suicide.
Where's it, Gary?
I haven't given it much thought. I mean, I am agreeing with Herbert. I'm agreeing with Herbert because I don't know if Herbert heard this morning. I think when it was being spoken about in the news that that other hoteliers or people who know hotel was hearing
Sound.
a sound of aggression by a young man, sounding from a young man in a hotel room, sounding aggressive. So one, don't know if it was if he was pushed, or don't know if he committed suicide again. It could have been over the breakup of him and his girlfriend. Yeah, because I've heard that the girlfriend sent his girlfriend now of this time went to court and issued a cease and desist kind of
Non-molestation order or something
or
against him.
something like that, cease and desist. So I don't know if he was reacting because of that or around such circumstances, but it sounds a lot like suicide, really.
I think it's suicide.
So this is going back to the whole. This is going back to the whole issue of the mental health factors, which sometimes people are skimming over, and it is something which is really prevalent in society these days.
No, but
You see
again,
Mm.
yeah, you. I think we're too quick to call call a mental illness,
Yes.
right? Without having diagnosed that individual,
Yes.
right? There's mental illness and there's willful act,
Mm.
right? There's also murder. Okay. Now, if that individual, if that young man did what he did, and it is confirmed that it was willful, you cannot blame it on mental illness.
Mm.
It's wrong because I think we call mental illness so many times. We are giving a disservice to people who are really suffering
Really?
from mental illness.
So you mean to say it's going to be like a crying wolf issue?
Yeah, I think we're we're hitting those people who are really suffering
Yeah.
issues of mental illness. We're giving them too much to bear.
What they say on Wednesday night, which was yesterday, police were called to a hotel in an upscale neighborhood of Palermo in Argentina, where
Yeah.
former One Direction star was reported to be staying. The pair were in a country to watch Payne's and his girlfriend at supper water friend's house and out with his girlfriend, influencer Kate Cassidy. Did you say there was a breakup? Despite starting at an indefinite, after flying to South Africa, video shared on social media, then show Payne and his girlfriend dancing, singing along as he watches his friend perform. It is not clear how long exactly Payne had been staying in the hotel in Palermo. Through transcript of a call made by reception staff to emergency, suggests that the 31-year-old had been there for 2 or 3 days. By the time Payne fell on Wednesday night, Cassidy had already left the country. There you go. Yeah. Very interesting, isn't it, Gary? Very interesting. Yeah. Very interesting developments there. With what's happening, and a lot of young people are being, devastated by it. But anyway,
It's the second member of the band to have died in recent years.
really.
You remember
That's what.
one died in Brighton a couple years ago.
Mm. Mm.
Who of the same band?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Listen, there's an election which is happening now, an election which is coming up with the Conservative Party, the leadership election. Gary, you weren't here last week, but I don't know if you have any thoughts between Robert Jenrick or Kemi Badenoch.
About for who? in regards to what?
No, they're running for the leadership for the Conservative Party.
So
Robert
those two
Jenrick.
have they been whittled down to 2 people now?
Yeah, it's 2 now. Yeah, Robert Jenrick or Kemi Bain. I put the picture up there.
So what happened to the
Gary? Gary, if there's no one there, there's only 2 there now. Anyone who's there
hold
then
on,
gone.
hold on. Take that down a bit. Let me answer the question. What happened to Cleverly? Yeah, what happened to Cleverly?
Well, he was a third person.
He was guilty by association, so he's booted out.
Was guilty by association. Is it because of the picture that I put up there?
I'm not saying nothing.
Well, there's association there again. Kemi.
She looked more skeptic.
Yeah, I don't have. I mean, can you tell me about them? Give me some clues about the 2 of them. I've been out of the loop for this one.
One is black and one is white. Gary, is it okay? Let me just play something there. Play something, and this is Kemi.
Or a clique. We're not just the ERG, the TRG, or One Nation. We are one Conservative Party. We are a movement, a conservative movement. And I will always defend that cause. Some people say I like a fight. I can't imagine where they got that idea. But it's not true. I do not like to fight, but I'm not afraid to fight. I don't fight for the sake of fighting, but I do fight for you. Every day of the last Parliament, I fought for Conservative values. I fought for them even when I was told it wasn't in my interest. I fought for...
Okay, and now Robert Jenrick.
We promised. Friends, we must never fail our people again. And the truth is this. If we are going to change this party, to restore the trust and the confidence of the people, if we're going to tackle together the immense challenges our country faces, we are going to have to build something new, a new Conservative Party. That is what I call for today. A new Conservative Party, nothing less than that, built on the rock of our proudest traditions and noblest values, but a new Conservative Party. And if I am your leader, that is what...
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Let me just play something here. One second.
That's why we've got to fix this. Okay.
Well, our live audience here have had their chance to grill Robert Jenrick, and next it's your turn at home. Robert Jenrick.
To acquire capital, property, investments, and security. But this broken system is going to need an engineer to fix it. I am an engineer. But I cannot fix it without your help. That is why I am asking for your support today. Together we can do this. Together we can fix the system that is broken. Together we can renew. Thank you.
Kemi Badenoch there with her pitch to members both here and in the wider country. The first question is from Rita.
Okay, so that's in a nutshell. Sorry, that's a sort of nutshell of them, Gary. One is they're both the difference with Cleverly. Cleverly was center. Kemi is to the right, they say, and Generic is to the right. So therefore, it is no more a battle of ideology. I mean to say, if it was Cleverly versus Kemi or Cleverly versus Generic, one could say we're going for a center, we're going for a right. What you're having now is two same, they're of the same sort of cloth. But at the same time, Kemi has always been to the right, more to the right. Generic was almost a bit center, then he move on to the right to a certain extent. So that is what is happening there. So it is now left, and Kemi speaks a lot talking about principles and not wanting to push a lot of policies, because she believes first we need to, the conservative need to deal with the policies. When I say the policies, need to actually be an effective opposition than throwing out policies just for showing up policy's sake, because they're not going to be in government for the next 4 years or so. And it makes no sense. You're trying to push policies which you're not going to achieve any of these policies. So it is out there now for one, not just winning over conservative, but winning over the nation. Because what they're saying is that the 100 days of the Labour Party is sort of shocking, and in a week or two we're going to have the what do you call it, the budget, which is, according to Sturmer, keeps saying there's going to be a bitter pill. You know what I'm saying? So that's what is happening there, Gary. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. I
don't know if you guys have any ideas. What's your thoughts?
To be fair on both. For both, I'm not really sold out on both. I'm not really sold out on both. I don't really know. I don't really know too much about both. Kemi, I don't know if she really is a strong leader. You know, when the metal hits the road, I don't know if she will be able to really take. Again, it's unfair because she hasn't really been tested. Really, she really has not been tested. And Jenick, what's his name?
Generic.
Robert Generic. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about Generic. I'm not too sure about him either. Well, what the nation.
Yeah, go on.
Is what the nation really, who the nation wants. I mean, do you think the nation wants the black? Do you think the Conservative Party wants a black leader, and it could be a black prime minister?
You know, Gary. I've been thinking about that. You know, and you remember the poll tax? Remember the poll tax? And then poll tax turned to the council tax. The poll tax came in, and there was a lot of hoo-ha and lots of demonstrations, and then it was watered down to the council tax. And now the council tax is what is here now. I believe with the advent of Margaret Thatcher, with the advent of Priti Patel, with the advent of Suella Braverman, with the advent of Rishi Sunak, the advent of what's the guy name? Sadiq Khan, David Lammy, Margaret Thatcher. I believe that the UK will be eventually going to actually step up to the plate and vote based on the contents of a person's character and not on their color. And remember, David Cameron, when David Cameron won fresh and green. Never had any experience in any minister, but he took the 4 years. He took the 4 years to build himself up and up. So therefore, I believe whether it is going to be Robert Jenrick or whether it's going to be Kemi, they have strong sounds And one of the things that Kemi says a lot, why many people might not like it, she speaks about the UK, and she said this is her home, and she does not separate or distinguish between an immigrant or black issues or whatever. She's dealing strictly with policies. A lot of black people might not like that. And when she talks about reparation, she said she don't believe in reparation. And she also says that the UK history is bad and also is good. So you see what she's doing? She's actually reaching out to a wide sector of persons. And she's the one, as she said, will ask or address or target uncomfortable topics. That's what she says. So in a way, I am of the view that either I don't know what's your talks, your thoughts on it. Um, Herbert, what's your take on these guys?
I've always said that England was not created for any other color apart from white to rule it,
Mm.
and I'll maintain it. Right? If you look at Scotland coming down, it was short lived.
You mean the gentleman in Scotland
Yeah,
and also the gentleman in Ireland? Was it
yeah,
Ireland?
yeah,
Both of them.
yeah. It was short lived.
Mm.
Wales.
Sunak,
Wales. My apologies. Wales.
yeah,
Wales. Wales.
Sunak just barely hung on to pass the just barely hung on not to break Liz Truss's record.
Mm.
Right? Do I think black people, yes, have good ideas? Yeah, but I also think that sometimes the 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 truth is unbearable, and for a black man or black woman to step out and utter certain words, it makes them uncomfortable to the point where nobody wants to see them in the political sphere.
And other words like what? For what are you saying? Like other words
No,
like
it it doesn't matter what a black leader says.
yes.
It's always taken out of some context,
Mm.
right? And if she becomes the leader of the Conservatives, it's just I'm just waiting to see when they will rise up.
Who will rise up
The Conservatives, factions of the Conservatives
to
will
take her
rise
out?
up. Yes.
Gary, what's your take? What's your take on what Herbert said?
I would partly agree with Herbert, but in addition to that,
Mm.
because it's a serious thing. I mean, what Herbert is saying, if you listen to what Herbert is saying, it's serious. It's
Mm.
very serious. And but what I would really love to know, and we haven't, I've mentioned it not on this point, not addressing a point such as what we're doing tonight, but
Mm.
I have asked the question, even privately with yourself, Sil, what are the old gods saying? What are they saying? What are they saying? Because they are quiet. Heseltine, Major, Clark, and you've got a few others. They may be old men, that's fine. But what are
Yeah.
they saying? They may be out of politics, but
They still pull a lot of weight, innit?
Heseltine is highly respected in the conservative ranks. High regard. Clark, Major, all of these guys, what are they saying? If I could meet with these guys, really, behind closed doors, I would ask them. I'd like to really know what's going on in their minds, because conservatism is not really being operated. It's not really being operated. I mean, back in the day, the old guard did not operate on personality, whether they were liked or not. They got the business of government done. Even in if they were in opposition, they did what they needed to do, face or favor. Now I know they weren't perfect. Their lives were just as messy as many of those today.
Well, it is very it's very interesting. Let's look at the 6 persons who was there before. There was Tom Tugendhat, Mel Stride, Priti Patel, and James Cleverly. So Priti Patel was there, and James Cleverly was there as well. And it seemed like the Conservative Party is the one which is churning out women leaders and churning out ethnic minority leaders, or I say ethnic majority leaders. I don't know. I hear what you're saying, and I think the proof is going to be in the pudding. If we see a Kemi win, Herbert, you're going to say time will tell to take her out, yeah? And then if she doesn't win, you're going to say, well, me tell you so.
No, I mean, if in a race there can only be one winner.
Yeah.
Right? And there's no I told you so or wait and see.
Yeah.
It is all depending on the substance that it comes with. Right? And I can take you back to 2008 when Obama won.
Yeah.
A certain politician in the Senate said that he's going to do his darndest best to make him a lame duck president. He's going to make him a one-term president.
Yeah.
Right? Now, instead of working together to make policies to make a nation better, you're trying to break it from in the middle so that the world can see that you have so much power to wield. You can determine the fate of a president's longevity or a prime minister's longevity. So I think that there are people within the Conservative who may be silent.
All right. Sorry, go on. Keep talking.
Who may be silent, but they're trying to churn up something from behind the scenes. That's just my thought.
All right, let's listen a bit. Let's listen a bit.
Migration. But number 2 is net zero, and you did talk about net zero. But those are the 2 big things that came up on the doorstep when we were trying to reform voters.
Okay, good. Well, the next question is on immigration. That's great. Sanjar Abhishev from the cities of London and Westminster. So I'll wait for the microphone to come towards you. And there we go. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Hello. So there's much debate about the ECHR and its role and its influence on the UK's ability to enact certain roles and rules. Now, Robert was unequivocal that we should be leaving the ECHR. Do you agree with him, or is there an argument that UK can use its influence to actually, for us to be able to
reform it?
Reform it, yes, quite. Thank you.
Thank you. So if we need to leave the ECHR in order to control migration, we should leave it. But it is not not even the most radical thing that we do. Immigration is too high, both legal and illegal. We need to tackle that. It is causing a strain on public services. We're not able to build housing to keep up. It is not fair. But we have to ask ourselves, why is it that countries that are in the ECHR are able to deport people who are there illegally better than us? France is able to send back about 70%, where we send back about 10%. So it cannot be the ECHR that is stopping us from doing that. That is why I don't want us rushing out to give promises when we don't have exact reasons for what is happening. The ECHR may be a solution. It is something that I would consider. But if we are going to do that, we're going to have a proper wholesale plan. Leaving the ECHR is not dissimilar to leaving the EU in terms of the consequences. Last time, everybody forgot about Northern Ireland, and then we started playing catch-up. We cannot make that mistake again. The ECHR is something that will impact Northern Ireland if we leave and Ireland is in there. What are the consequences of that? The ECHR and the Human Rights Act are what I used to defend many gender-critical women who were very worried about single-sex spaces. The ECHR has helped us with freedom of religion and belief. If we take it out, we need to make sure that we have something else to replace it. That requires work, not just a promise. But there are...
That's right.
But people do ask me, what will you do on immigration? And I tell them that I would have a wholesale strategy across government. Numbers matter, culture matters more, and leadership is essential. We didn't have leadership. We would have a promise and then we'd leave it to the Home Office to deliver. The Home Office would be trying to lower immigration. The Education Department would say we need more student visas. DEFRA would say we need more agricultural workers. DHSC would say we need more care workers. We all need to be moving in the same direction.
Yep.
One of the things that I want us to do is look at the people who are actually in the Home Office who are manning borders. I think many of them want to do other things.
How many?
Yes. Well, it's not about the numbers. It is about the people. It is about the culture.
Okay.
And it's also about who comes into our country. They have to love our country. It's not a dormitory or a hotel. It is our home. We have to look after it.
Okay. Okay. What's your take on what she's actually? What's your take on what she's actually saying?
Those are good arguments, right? But when you have civil servants who think that what the Prime Minister is saying is nothing because they are so experienced in the department in which they work, they have become a fixture and they seek to override everything that the Prime Minister is saying. That is where the problem is. Because I'm certain if the Prime Minister of today should say, we are going to set up, we're going to create policies to prevent the boats from coming across the channel. We're going to go into the belly of the beast to find the masterminds of these transatlantic gangs. There are people within the civil service who is going to say it cannot work without even training. I like her argument.
Do you know that which country is it? Is it Albania or so? I think Labour is actually thinking about doing a sort of equivalent of the Rwanda thing to Albania as well. Do you think Kemi would be a welcome voice in the Black community?
I think someone with common sense would be welcome.
Yeah.
And what we've seen over the past years is that these people are, I would say at best, how can I put it? Common sense was not in their front pocket. They would say things according to how the wind was blowing. Right? They say one thing today and tomorrow they try to fix it by saying something different. Right? Whatever you say today, wrong or right, as long as you can defend the rationale with which you speak, or you identify yourself by saying what you're saying and sticking to it. You can develop a policy around it for it to work. Right?
Yeah.
Case in point, the ACA, Affordable Care Act. People said that couldn't work. It's now almost 20 years and it is still working. So sometimes we need to listen to the experts when they speak.
Yeah.
We need to look at the backroom staff that they have.
Yeah.
Who is advising them.
Yeah. Thanks for that. Gary, what do you say based on that question that I asked you? Would Kemi be a voice which is recognized in the Black community? Period. Michelle, what's your take? People on YouTube, what's your take? Anyone on the replay? This is a Nigerian lady. She's married to a white man. Makes no difference as far as I'm concerned.
It does matter who she's married to.
Huh?
Doesn't matter who she's married to.
Doesn't matter who she's married to. I say that because many times people will try to say that, but I just put that one out there. As a matter of fact, there was something that came up earlier that she's been criticized because she has young children. A conservative
And the point is,
as criticized for saying you will not be voting for her because she's preoccupied with her own children. And this is, as somebody said, this is 2020 and not the 1950s. You know what I'm trying to say? Gary, I go back to you, Gary. What's your take on Kemi?
I don't know if she. I don't know if you see that's the problem again, Sil. And I think you know the answer to the question. I don't know if she would be accepted by the Black community. I mean, the Black community, it seems they only respond to, or the majority just responds to a Labour Party candidate.
And certain narratives.
Yeah. Sad. That is sad, but that's reality. Yeah. That is the reality. The Black community, I don't think, will sit down and listen to what she has to say. Just the very fact that she's a conservative and she and that's what she wants, or that's what she is spewing out, more or less. They're not going to give her the chance today.
Yeah, because I've seen in certain groups the narratives, certain terms which has been called for as well. But I must give it to her. I must give it to her. And that is why. And that is why over the years, and I don't mind my association with her over the years. I know her. We campaigned together in Dulwich and West Norwood before she was an MP. And that was 2008, 2009 at the Barack Obama Yes We Can. I had an event in Brixton when Barack Obama was being inaugurated. It was a massive event which I organized with some other guys there. That guy in the middle, it was a prospective parliamentary candidate. She also was a prospective parliamentary candidate, and that was from 2009, So she has been there going through the motions and campaigning over the years, So she's not and I think the key thing about it is this. And you saw something which has happened in America of recent days when Barack Obama has been chastised by Black men because he was saying Black men didn't think a particular way as how they should be thinking regarding what should I say, Kamala Harris and Trump, and Black men are now having a go at him to say you don't tell us how we should think.
No, I think what he was trying to say to them, right? And I've said this all the time to my friends. You can support a politician. Nothing wrong with that. But when you support an individual who is outright racist at the core, someone who is trampled on your civil rights.
Where's the evidence? Where's the evidence of that trample on civil rights? Can I just pull you up on that one? Where's the evidence of trample on someone's civil rights?
When the Black Lives Matter group was protesting in front of the White House,
Yeah.
right? He called for them to be shot. He called for them to be tear gassed because they were trying to make their voices heard. Isn't that trampling on someone's civil rights?
If what you're saying is what is said, then yes, it is.
Okay.
If what you said is what
that is
is,
my opinion.
no,
right?
no. I will agree with you if what you have just said is what Trump said. Shot and tear gas if
Yes.
people are actually
Yes.
Demonstrating peacefully.
Yes.
Right, Gary? You'll agree with that, Gary, yes?
Mm-hmm.
So so I have no issues with that right there. I always we'll agree on certain things. Yeah.
As opposed to him calling for January 6 people, rioters, to go stop the steal.
Yeah.
Right? And that is my argument. How can you outrightly support a man? Because in layman's terms, he's put money in our pockets. Not knowing that the money that he put in your pocket was money that was meant from government, the stimulus checks because of COVID. Right?
So what Obama was actually doing was linking it to say that move away from the policies and all those sort of things. He's saying Kamala Harris, she walk with you, she knows you, she have your background. Trump, of course, is of a different irk, So what Barack Obama was actually doing is saying, wasn't he saying that one is white and one is black?
No, he was saying, don't look at look at the way forward. Don't look at what he's saying, what he's going to do, which is nothing, as opposed to.
But you can't. But that is the fallacy of it, whereby you say he's gonna do nothing when there's. Why you say he's gonna do nothing? I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm just saying based on you just said a while ago that he's gonna do nothing.
Because he's promising retribution.
What promise? What retribution? Sorry, I'm just asking these questions, trying to get some sort of understanding. Really,
Trump said in interviews he will be a dictator on day one. Right?
But that cannot happen in America.
Hold on. He will be a dictator on day one. Right? He's also saying, remember, leading up to 2020 election, he went as far as to say Joe Biden and his family should be in prison because Joe Biden was the only one that was posing a challenge to Trump at the time.
Yeah. He also said the lack of Hillary.
Right? So how is it now that black people who have been suppressed over the years?
Suppressed how?
By when was it that black people started voting in America?
But that happened, Michelle. I don't remember the exact date when black people. I can look it up and answer.
Right, black people started voting in America in the past few decades.
But what has that got to do with Trump?
Yes, because no, he's trying to suppress the black people's vote.
How is he trying to suppress black people's vote, Virgin?
In 2020.
Michelle, can you tell me? No. I'm asking Michelle. Michelle is in the States. Michelle, can you tell me how Donald Trump is trying to suppress black people vote? Herbert, you tell me as well.
In 2020, all the districts he was calling out were predominantly black.
All the districts
he was calling out that voter fraud was taking place. They were predominantly black voting districts.
He's saying it is fraud because
Georgia.
Was he saying it is? Was he saying it's fraud because the people didn't vote for him?
Yes.
But that is not suppression.
That's what. So what it is then? What is then? If that is not suppression, tell me what it is.
No. You said he's calling out Georgia because people didn't vote for him. You're saying that he's saying that black people didn't vote for him. That's not suppression.
What is it then, Sylbourne?
You don't understand that, Virgin. Gary.
Sylbourne.
I don't understand why this is called suppression. If you're saying that people didn't vote for you, if you're actually saying that these people, I'm not going to make them vote for me, or so, then that is suppression.
No, Sylbourne.
Anyway, I don't understand. Let me send Michelle a link.
In the state of Georgia,
with that lady there,
the MAGA Republicans, they were just yesterday shut down by a judge because they wanted every vote to be hand counted in Georgia to delay the certifying of the election.
But where's the suppression there? Where's that suppression? Where's the suppression?
Because when you hand count the votes, the people in Georgia, their votes amount to nothing. They're wasting their time. Right? So if the votes cannot be counted properly, as he wanted them to do in 2020, when on the first night he wanted the votes to be the counting to be stopped, that is suppression of one's fundamental right to vote and have their voices heard. That is suppression of one's vote, Sylbourne.
Okay. Let me just try to understand this. Let me try to understand. I hope Michelle comment. Gary, can you help me out here? I consider suppression is when people are prevented by some respect from voting. They are putting some blocks in the way, and
but
people
that's happening in America, no?
Hold on. People are prevented. Is that Trump which is causing that?
Yes.
So Trump has got that power, who is not the president.
Yes.
What? I don't understand this. Gary, you have been saying this, Gary.
I've told you and Gary months ago that Trump is the one that is running America.
Oh, so you know,
because most of the states are Republican governors, right? They're also Trump supporters. Look at the immigration bill to strengthen the borders. When it was about to be passed, Trump called Mike Johnson. Do not let that bill pass, because if you make it pass, I will not have anything to run on during the election. Right?
I'm still onto this suppression, this vote suppression thing. I'm still onto this vote suppression thing.
Trump is in the business of suppressing people's vote if they're not voting for him.
Michelle, tell me where the vote suppression is, Michelle.
I don't see the vote suppression either.
Michelle is in the States. Michelle, tell me where are they suppressing the votes?
No, and you find that a lot of black people are beginning to vote for Trump right now. So I don't see where the suppression comes in.
So what happened in 2020 when he called the Secretary of State in Georgia to find 11,780 votes?
To find
11,780 votes. What happened in 2020 with that phone call? Or 2021?
Just Trump. I just Trump that.
But what I understand, Trump was actually saying, "Listen, man, I need to win this thing, man.
I need to win this thing, and that's all."
So isn't that a suppression of votes?
That's not suppression of votes.
Of course, that's a suppression of votes. If you're trying to steal people's vote, that's a suppression of vote.
No, suppression is when he's stopping. When he's stopping.
No. You listen, mate. Listen. Suppression of votes is when you're trying to stop people from votes from being counted. That's a suppression of vote.
But he's not trying to stop. He told them to recount and try to get in how much more thousands of votes.
On the 5th of November 2020 at Mar-a-Lago, Trump called for all voting to stop because he was in the lead. Isn't that a suppression of vote?
Well, what you're saying there, that's
I
different.
see it.
Well, what
Go
you're
ahead.
saying there is different now, because when you say stopping voting, that is suppression, stopping the votes. Now I can see where you're coming from, but when you're saying that people are voting and you want more votes and so that's not suppression. But if you're saying, he's saying stopping the votes. Votes up is a strategy used to influence the outcome of election by discouraging. This is what vote suppression is.
Exactly.
Is a strategy used to influence the outcome of an election by discouraging or preventing specific groups of people from voting. It is distinguished from political. In campaigning, that campaign attempt to change likely voting behavior by changing the opinions of potential votes. Right? Suppression is an anti-democratic tactic associated with authoritarianism. Voter suppression. It is when you're trying to stop, preventing. The question is, was Trump trying to prevent and stop specific groups from voting?
Yes.
When?
No, because black people
hold
was before him.
Hold on. The current Postmaster General, Louis DeJoy, who Trump put in place to oversee. Huh?
No, I'm just going to say like Trump. That's right.
No. The current Postmaster General, Louis DeJoy, who's a Trump acolyte. When Trump put him in place at the post office, what did he do? He removed drop boxes from certain areas in America. It is written. I have it written in a book here. I've read it.
And are those areas associated
red line
with
areas, the black
people?
areas, red line areas that were red lined in?
Yes. Right? It was just recently, last month, a governor was seen, a mayor was seen removing a drop box from outside his office.
But Trump is going to put them back now because black people will vote for him.
Right? So tell me if Trump is not into the business of suppressing votes. People are not voting for him.
I tell you what I'll say.
I
tell you what I say.
Him is a madman. And you say it right. You hit it on the nail. Him is a madman.
Madman not clean close that.
Yeah, but I mean, see of the suppression. I don't see that because I'm seeing right now you have plenty black folks that even is turning from the Democrats and going over to the Republican side. Right?
Yeah, they're leaving
the plantation. I can tell you why. Black people are of the opinion that Kamala Harris put them in prison as a prosecutor. She was only doing her job. And furthermore, if you didn't sell the weed or if you didn't sell the coke, you would not be in front of Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris did her job, what she took us an oath to do.
And you see, that's the thinking that you have there, because that's just it with how we think. Is that this is how they have us off, that black people do more crimes, and those was crimes that what black people was doing. But the thing about it is that you have the white man when them do the same crime and worse, but guess what? They're not getting prosecuted and they're not getting in jail, but the black man them is where them turn and put them in jail.
Michelle,
you understand me?
Let me give you an example. I served the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service for a number of years. Right? I made no bones about me being Jamaican.
You from Ochi?
No, I'm from a district named Porus down in Manchester.
Okay.
Redbird to be exact.
Yeah, man, Porus.
Right?
Yeah.
No, Jamaicans are of the opinion that because I'm a Jamaican, I should have mercy on them being Jamaicans. And because it didn't happen like that, I'm the worst piece of crap that ever walked the face of the earth.
Mm.
So understand what Kamala Harris was in. If she did it, kudos on her, right? And if she don't, if she didn't do it, she wouldn't be running for president. No, because she'd have been the most corrupt state prosecutor that was ever in America. Understand her position.
Yeah. All right.
Well, straight up, I'm not for Kamala. Period. I'm not for Kamala. I'm not for Kamala just because of what they say about her putting black man in prison. I am just not with the Democrat Party anymore because I have sense now.
Yeah, a lot of people are coming off. A lot of people are coming off that plantation there.
Because
that's what
all
I'm
they
hearing.
do is they use black people when voting time come around, and that's it.
And it's a bit similar to the Labour Party in the UK, you know, because I was looking at the Labour Party cabinet the other day, save for Lammy. They were totally white guys around the cabinet table. Very white, you know, and yet at the same no, hear me for a second. You're all white except Lammy, you know, totally white, and yet this is a party which is where black people are claiming to be their savior. So
exactly,
you know, it's similar.
Yeah,
it is shocking.
Yeah, and this is what they do
forward in the Labour Party. How many black people have put themselves forward to be in leadership positions within the Labour Party? How many?
Trust me. Didn't Diana Abbott wanted to be leader? And she got fight out?
No. Did she possess the skill set apart from being a vocal person?
I'm not the one to say that. Right? In a democratic situation, anyone who puts themselves forward to be as an aspiring leader should not be circumvented based on a possible racist hierarchy structure. But just because a lot of people claim to be Labour or so like that, but a lot of people keep talking all the while that the Labour hierarchy structure fight out a lot of black people. It has been said. Of course.
And that's what it is. Reality is that's what happens. That is what happens.
And they speak down to black people within within the structure of the Labour. You know, I'm not a Labour person. But that's what I hear.
Not vote for somebody just because I'm black.
No, I'm not saying vote for someone because you're black.
Right?
I'm not saying that.
And this is what she push out there now. Our blackness.
No.
Half blackness what she have.
No. I would vote for her because Trump is a madman in clean clothes, and the world is about to go mad.
Trump 2024.
The world is about to go mad if Trump is in the White House because America
the world is
will be
about to go mad even if Trump is going.
No. If Trump wins, America will be an extension of Russia. That's my parting shot.
All right. Okay. If Trump win, Russia will be the 53rd state.
Yeah.
That's how come. That's the thing with our countries now because of the same thing. Them only believe in these two parties.
Yeah.
This two party, either Democrat or Republican. We need to bring in an independent because believe me, I was going for Robert Kennedy. Yes. And seemed there with Trump now.
Yes. Tulsi, what's her name? Tulsi, she's now with Trump as well.
Yeah, and the thing about it is that the Democrats fight out Robert.
Yeah.
When? Why?
The Democrat them fight out Robert and wouldn't even let him into the debates then.
No, because Kennedy from 2020 ruled himself out when he started to express the conspiracy theories that
ain't no conspiracy theories because when I talk is the truth about this doggone vaccination. Let me tell you something. Kennedy is the man, okay? Because Kennedy is looking out for the future of these children that we have that is being born now, okay? With all of this,
and he's into health as well. He's into health.
Yes, and that's what I'm on. Okay?
Yeah.
The health, what they're doing to us. They're killing us. They're killing us. Policies are made now from these doggone pharmaceutical companies, the one that sits in there and make the policies.
Anyway, Trump 2024. Gary, wait a second. Trump 2024? Herbert, is it Trump 2024?
Me no want crazy Trump in there, you know. But
in prison.
Me no want Kamala in there either.
Listen,
I don't want the Democrats in there either.
I've always said this. You vote out the government, you get the government in. And the second thing I always say all the while, the president is subject to the presidency. Whether it is Kamala or Trump, they're still powerless without that presidency.
Exactly.
Biden has shown, and Biden has shown us that. That's what Biden has shown us. People are saying, who's running America? You don't need no Biden. America is being run. The structure is being run. All he got is a little figurehead there. Get anybody and put them there. They're told and run what to do. That's why Biden's like a child, you know what I'm saying? Oh, they tell me what to do.
Yeah.
He's telling the truth. They tell me what to do. And that's what happens. That's what happened with the president. The president.
And this is the thing with our black people, because see, the thing about it is that black people are realizing the Constitution was written by white people for the benefit of white people and for the weight named of black people, and that's just it.
Why do you think they're actually having a go at Barack Obama? Because Barack Obama realized, and he said it, I'm not the president of white America or black America. I'm the president of the United States of America. Kamala Harris also says she's not going to create policies for black people. And this is the thing where black people need...
You see, that's messed up because they created policies for the Asians.
Yeah.
Okay? Joe Biden created policies for the Asians. So why you can't create policy for the black people then?
There we are. There we are.
Eh?
Michelle, I'll vote for you.
Think about.
I'll vote for you, Michelle.
I'll vote for you, Michelle. Don't worry.
I'll vote for you. Herbert and I, we will all come over there. We'll support you. We'll lift you up as well. You know. Anyway, we'll talk another time about Jamaica. Maybe Saturday night we'll talk about the whole scandal in Parliament. They're fighting out the Integrity Commission.
Yeah, all of that too. Him did fired. He was fired. The PM was fired until them start investigating him not fired no more.
You know, them fighting out the thing, and guess what? The Integrity Commission chair say him now drink no water.
No, because something wrong with the water.
Drink the water because it look like everybody will drink the water when them coming to Parliament. Them not think right.
And he said all the MPs they need psychological analysis. Psychological assessments. They need, Gary, he said the MPs need psychological assessment, that the Speaker of the Senate actually reprimand him. And I'm saying, are these guys so stupid? Don't they realize the guy is actually speaking from a figurative perspective when he said water? It's like the guy's a top judge in a Panton.
Right.
And it's like you stood up in court and said, my learned friend must be drinking some water. I don't want the water. Let me have my own water. They take it on their head personally and say that he's saying the Parliament have water which is messed up.
Yeah.
These are children. These are children and children, you know? Children.
And I just see that one more thing. Yeah. I think that they're all incompetent. The committee, the Integrity Committee, do all of them incompetent because them look like them don't even know how to do them job. How to perform.
No, Michelle. The thing is, you're going to give me a mandate to do something, but when I do it, you're telling me I'm wrong. So but
even how they did it, they went about it wrong.
No, because
the way the investigation.
Why do you say that, Michelle? Why do you say they did it wrong?
To me, the way they did it and the way them write it up and all them key to and all them said them set it and them didn't do it this way. It was all like incompetency.
I like what you said in there, Michelle. You said to me, it seemed like. You said to me.
Do you think?
Yeah, to me. That's the way I'm looking at it.
Every department, there are leakers.
The what? Who's the leaker? Who's the leakers?
There are leakers in every department.
Okay, I like how you said that leakers in every. You didn't specify. I like that.
No, there are leakers in every department.
You're protecting my show from being sued.
Right?
So what they're saying is that, okay, the report came out and it came out in the public, right? Is that what they're saying? Real quick, right?
The report was released, and right after the report
what
released,
they're saying that it shouldn't have been released to the public at the time that it was.
There you go. Yeah. That means it was leaked.
Well, okay, release. Where we are thinking about now is what is in it. How about that? It don't release.
Yes.
So how about we think about what is written in it, what in it.
Yeah. What is in it?
It don't release already, and they'll get released to the public, right? So okay, it don't release on a rapper man, whoever on a catch will do it. But how about we talk about what the hell is in it?
Yes.
It's good. It's good when it's someone out of the upper class being affected. But when you start,
they say the upper north.
No. When you're not going after low-hanging fruits, no, you're going to the top of the tree.
Yeah.
Right. That is where people start get jittery.
Yeah.
Because they should be going after low-hanging fruits. Right. Going after the Prime Minister and his henchmen, you're walking, you're committing career suicide.
Yeah, but that's why they set that committee up, right?
Yes, but
it's
it was not set up to go after the Prime Minister.
It wasn't set up to what?
To go after the Prime Minister.
And
that's why it was in place.
You don't get it, Michelle?
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
It made a false. It made a bad move.
What people need to look on and stop think about that it get out, that the secret come out and it come out before the time. It already out. So let's deal with what is in it.
It made a bad move. It went for the Prime Minister. It shouldn't have.
It shouldn't have.
And that's just it. And this is where people need to see that there is things that's not supposed to be going on in the house.
Yeah, how can you destroy the house that Jack built? Come on.
Anyhow, Gary, I'll send it to your bed. I get half asleep.
Right.
Gary jet lag,
man.
Right, after 1 month, Gary's jet lag.
Yeah, Michelle, we catch up Saturday. Talk about this some more.
All right.
And, but when
have
is
a
Trump,
good night, everyone.
When is America president? Is it 5th of November?
November 5th.
November 5th.
Mm-hmm. Have you voted yet, Michelle?
I am not.
You're not going to vote?
No.
Vote, man. Vote.
There's not a candidate there for me to vote for.
Isn't Kennedy still there?
Cast a vote just to cast a vote.
Isn't Kennedy still there?
Kennedy's with Trump, but I don't want Trump.
Kennedy sued certain states to remove his name from the ballot.
Yeah.
And they told him that he has to die first.
Okay. All right. Well, anyhow.
So I won't be walking in that voting booth either, now.
All right. Well, anyhow, have a good night, guys. Gary.
All right. Have a good night, everyone.
Have a good night.
Peace out.
Thank you, man. You take care.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Thanks. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for joining tonight, and thank you for the show. And please share your views and your comments on some of the discussions and topics that we have been talking about tonight. And questions about Kemi Badenoch running for the leadership of the of the Conservative Party, and also Robert Jenrick. What's your views on that? What's your views on Trump and the suppression of votes, on the killing of the Hamas leader as well, and your take as much as possible. And in regards to Jamaica and the Integrity Commission, is there something wrong with the water, or it was a figurative way of speaking? Have a good night. God bless you. Peace out and cheers.